90. If you compare her to Cornelia in this image here, you can observe that Kaguya hasn't gotten that much taller. Keep in mind, Cornelia is only an inch taller than Lelouch, so clearly Kaguya hasn't caught up to him yet. And since most women stop growing around that age, she never will. Oh well. While on the topic of Kaguya, I bet she has a worse birthday than you. Kaguya was born on August 10th, 2003, which might not seem like a big deal. But did you know that's also the same date that Britannia invaded Japan?
The date was August 10 in the year 2010 of the imperial calendar,
thus starting this whole conflict. I know things worked out in the end, but still, that's very unlucky that her birthday coincided with such a terrible event. Speaking of terrible events, did you know that after the Battle of Narita, Britannia declared that Jeremiah was killed in action? At Narita, Colin defeated Jeremiah in the Guard Mark II, forcing him to eject. We don't see Jeremiah again until the end of the battle in the next episode. In it, he appears in bad shape and Bartley's men pick him up. Since they picked him up, and thus he was never accounted for, the Britannia military declared him killed in action. You can see this in Season 1, Episode 12 on a computer during a meeting between Cornelia, her men, and the ministers. It of course lists kill right there under Jeremiah. It's funny that they gave this list the sophisticated name of the dead list, but we know that Jeremiah wasn't dead and would later on return as a cyborg. Imagine everyone's surprise when Jeremiah returned. It was probably something like this.
Yes, Jeremiah, ain't you? I thought you were dead.
Andreas Dalton had 5 adoptive sons: Edgar, Bart, Alfred, David, and Claudio. One of the tragedies in Season 2 is that they all die in combat except for Claudio. In Season 2, Episode 4, a falling G1 base crushes Bart, then later on, Colin killed Alfred in the same episode. In Season 2, Episode 18, Colin aided Nagisa in killing David, and later on during the battle, Toto killed Edgar. But of the 4 deaths, which one was the most tragic? I would argue it'd be David and Edgar's. It was depressing that David never got to avenge his father, but even worse, since Guilford was under Lelouch's Gias, he didn't even realize that it happened, and the same goes for Edgar. In case you forgot, Guilford became a father figure for Dalton's sons after Lelouch killed Andreas, and thus became attached to them. We saw an example of this after Bart's death, so given his connection to them, it was depressing he couldn't even grieve for either one. At least Edgar was there for David's death, but unfortunately no one was there for his own. The story of Dalton and his sons is one of the biggest tragedies in the world of Code Geass. So I said that Colin killed Alfred in Season 2, Episode 4 using the Guard Mark II, the same one she's been using since the start of Season 2. But did you notice anything unusual about it? Well, check out its Radiant Wave Surger arm. It's much different than what we saw in Season 1. That's because at the end of Season 1, Suzaku destroyed its arm, forcing Rakshada to replace it with this one. In the Lost Zero arc, we learned that Orpheus, along with the Peace Mark under Rakshada's orders, delivered that arm to Colin and Uribe. Apparently, this was the original Radiant Wave Surger arm she created for the Guard Mark II. That makes sense given how simpler it is when compared to its Season 1 version. The biggest differences are the number of claws, the size, and the overall design. Didn't matter though, since Zaku destroyed that arm as well. Let's just say I don't envy the mechanics of the Guard Mark II. The Guard Mark II wasn't the only thing that changed in Season 2. Lelouch himself decided it was time for a change and thus wore a different version of the Zero costume from Season 1. This was most likely done on purpose so people would think that Lelouch was a different Zero from before. Since I mentioned it's a new costume, let's go over the differences between the first one and this new one. Starting with the helmet, this new one also kept the same 5-horn design from before, unless you don't count these parts as horns. Either way, the horns returned but are now more defined and longer. The middle horn is much pointier now, and it looks like the designers moved the middle horns to the sides. Next, let's talk about the top. There's a new yellow design that runs along the whole thing. It also has a more defined collar. The most notable feature is those amazing coattails that extend from the top to the pants. Then there's the colors. The old Zero costume was dark purple, and this one is light purple. I'm sure there are many more differences, but those those are the main ones. It's actually quite amazing how many different versions there are of Zero's costume. Let me know which one is your favorite. And since we are at the halfway point, if you are enjoying the video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now let's get back to the action. When it comes to Lelouch's love life, everyone is aware that C2, Shirley, and Colin are the main love interests. I don't count Kaguya because it's clearly one-sided and creepy, or Euphemia because it's too vague to know what Lelouch meant here. But there's actually a secret love interest we can add to this list. That person is Millie. Since the two met many years ago, it becomes clear that Millie started to develop feelings for him. That might be one of the reasons why she teases Shirley so much about her feelings for Lelouch. It's not as obvious as the other three, but if you pay attention, the show drops several hints. Here are some examples. In Season 2, Episode 3, when Lelouch goes through pictures of past Ashford events, there's one where Millie's awfully close to him. Rivals is even acting out of jealousy in the photo. During the Cupid Day event in Season 2, Episode 12, after Shirley gets Lelouch's hat, Millie says the following.
勝負ありか。でも少しは本気だったのでは。ほんのちょっと。
implying that she wanted that hat, which explains why she offered an award for anyone who got it. You could even argue that Millie added the kissing award to anyone who finds Arthur, so she would have a formal reason to kiss Lelouch. She also flirted with him during the cross-dressing event. There are also scenes like this where she shows a sign of vulnerability that she doesn't show to anyone else. If you re-watch the series, I'm sure you'll find even more examples. But if you're still not convinced, one of Millie's artworks from Lost Stories shows she has a picture of Lelouch in her bag. In the main cafe event, Millie thinks about marrying Lelouch since he is a prince. At the end of the story, she asks Lelouch if he would keep hanging out with her. It's hard to say for sure how Lelouch feels towards Millie, but what I can say for sure is that Millie definitely had feelings for him. A romance that could never happen because Shirley exists and the Ashford family was forcing Millie into an arranged marriage. No wonder Millie is secretly depressed in the series and says things like this.
How dreamy it is to be in love.
If Marion didn't die, who knows? Maybe these two would have gotten married, but it wasn't meant to be. But let's be honest, Lloyd is not a bad consolation prize. Colin and her mother don't exactly have a good relationship. This was the result of her becoming a servant for the Statfield family, choosing to stay despite the fact that Arthur ridicules her, as Colin said.
Stay in this house, you know? She's just clinging to some old lover who's jilted her. You really hate your mother, don't you? I just find her depressing.
In Season 1, Episode 9, Colin ended up rescuing her mother from a warehouse that was supplying Area 11 with refrain. It was during that rescue that Colin realized that her mother stayed for her. Upon this realization, Colin vowed to make a world where the two could live together in peace. We would see this dream become a reality in the final episode of Season 2 during the epilogue. But before that, in Season 1, Episode 13, after Shirley's father's funeral, there is a part where Colin is in her room, and if you pay attention, you'll notice that Colin removed the sticker from her mother's face, which is how it was in Season 1, Episode 9. Another small detail that showed Colin's renewed love for her mother. During the school festival to make the world's largest pizza, in Season 1, Episode 21, one of the Ashford students is wearing a Lancelot costume. This person appears twice during the episode. There's even this new official artwork of Suzaku tackling that person for some unknown reason. It's interesting that someone cosplayed as the Lancelot, but did you know that in the manga Suzaku of the Counterattack, Suzaku fought in a Lancelot suit that looked just like the costume? The scene from the anime is even referenced in the manga. What a great Easter egg. Code Geass is full of parallels, like the one I just mentioned. Now, one of the biggest within the original anime is the relationship between C2 and Mao, and C2 and the Immortal Nun. Both immortals targeted a child so they could groom them to take their code, thus ending their lives. It's kind of messed up, to be honest. Well, here's another parallel like this one that you might have missed. In Akito the Exiled OVA 3, there's there's a flashback that reveals Layla's past, where C2 rescued her as a child and then offered her a contract. If this scene sounds familiar, that's because it's eerily similar to the scene from Season 2, Episode 15, where C2 goes through the same experience with the nun. Not only are the poses and the circumstances similar, but this was also revealed in a flashback. In many respects, these parallels show the endless cycle of code bearers and Geass users. Do you know who the worst pilot in Code Geass is? If you guessed Tamaki, well, congratulations, you're right. But just how bad is Tamaki as a Nightmare Frame pilot? Well, there's a scene in Season 1, Episode 14, where everyone makes fun of his crappy performance.
Next time I'll beat that white nightmare.
Don't sweat it. Yeah, Tamaki got thrashed in the first minute.
During the operation to capture Viceroy Nunnally, Tamaki's negligence nearly got Minami killed. He even lost to Benio, a rookie, during her first time using a Nightmare Frame during a training mission in Lancelot and Gurren. During my research, when I analyzed all pilots in Code Geass, I couldn't find one time where Tamaki contributed positively in a Nightmare Frame during any of the battles. To this day, I have no idea why Zero kept him around, other than maybe keeping everyone else in the Black Knights happy. But funny enough, despite his horrific pilot skills, Tamaki somehow survived to the end when Toru, Naomi, Urabe, Senba, and Asahina didn't. Do you know who the most racist person in Code Geass is? Unlike the last question, the most obvious answer, Nina, is incorrect. Nina only felt superior to the 11s while generally showing fear towards them, but never actually wanted to wipe them out. What about Cornelia? Well, she didn't have any problems killing 11s and called them vermin, but that still doesn't make her the most racist character. This also applies to Jeremiah, Bartley, and Valletta, because all these characters hated 11s as part of Britannian policy. That of course doesn't justify their actions, but this is an important distinction from the actual biggest racist in the anime. So who is it then? Well, the answer is Alicia Lohmeyer. If you don't remember this winner, she was Viceroy Nunnally's assistant in Season 2. What separates Alicia from the rest is her bloodlust and her hatred for the 11s. Her hatred goes beyond just following Britannian policy, as she desires to wipe these subhumans out. She had no problems with murdering the million people that gathered in Season 1, Episode 8.
The people? These are 11s. Only you speak of them as people because you are one of them. They have challenged Britannian rule, so let them burn in hell.
Also, Alicia specifically went out of her way to sabotage Nunnally's plan to rebuild the Saitama Ghetto because, again, she hates the 11s. When Suzaku fired the flare, her response was,
Why didn't they use the flare here?
Notice how Alicia added the word here, implying she was fine with its use, just not here since it affected her. Beyond all this, she insulted Cecile Krumi and her peak outfit.
Is there some diplomatic reason for that outfit?
Yes, ma'am, I apologize.
Not only is she a racist piece of garbage, but a jealous, insecure one at that. The garbage that spilled from her mouth makes Nina seem harmless by comparison. Her death was the only positive outcome from using the flare in the Tokyo settlement.
Welcome to hell!
I know people can't stand Nina, understandably so, but let's not forget who the real monster in Code Geass was. In Season 1, Episode 6, C2 said the following when seeing Charles on the TV.
So, this is Lelouch's enemy. Well,
We learn later on in Season 2 that C2 was already familiar with Charles, so her reaction in that previous scene doesn't make any sense. If Lelouch was in the room, that would be one thing, but he's in the gym for the presentation, leaving C2 all by herself, meaning she was talking to herself. It's one thing that C2 lied to Lelouch about her past relationship with Charles, V2, and Marion, or that V2 is an immortal who gave Charles a Geass power, or that she was talking to Marion this whole time, but it's another thing to lie to the audience itself. I've often wondered if this was the result of the writers not knowing the final plan for the series, or intentionally done to mess with the audience. Either way, it's one of those parts in the anime that still bothers me to this day. In Season 1, Episode 13, after all her hard work in ordering pizzas, C2 earned enough points to receive a cheese coon plushie. From that point on, that cheese coon plushie will become C2's most important possession. Throughout the anime, you'll notice plenty of examples of other depictions of cheese coon. And of course, the meta reason for cheese coon was because Pizza Hut sponsored Code Geass. But do you know when cheese coon first appeared in the series? Here's a hint. It wasn't in season 1, episode 13. It was actually in the very first episode of the series. After Colin and Nagata crash the truck into the warehouse, you can see someone wearing a cheese coon keychain on their camera. I'm impressed by the lengths Code Geass went to incorporate pizza into their story. In season 2, episode 20, the Black Knights await Schneider's arrival on the Ikaruga. The scene then zooms in on Detard, who has bruises on his face. But where did those come from? Well, according to what Detard said, it sounded like Ogi punched him, but when and why did this happen? Well, this mystery was solved 10 years later in the new recap films that came out between 2017 and 2018. In the third film, Glorification, there's a brand new scene where Ogi punches Detard in the face for publicly announcing that Zero died in action. Obviously, this was something that not everyone agreed with. It only took 10 years, but I'm finally glad we got an answer to the age-old question, who punched Detard in the face? Code Geass is famous for having one of the best English dubs of any anime to date, which comprises of an amazing cast including Johnny Young Bosch, Steve Blum, Michelle Ruff, Troy Baker, Yuri Lowenthal, Laura Bailey, Travis Willingham, Kate Higgins, Karen Strassman, Rebecca Forstad, Mary McLean, Crispin Freeman, Jameson Price, Vic Mignogna, Megan Hollingshead, and so many more. But despite the powerhouse of voice actors, there are several instances where they made big mistakes when dubbing the series. Here are some examples. Listen to this back and forth between Lloyd and Cecile from season 1, episode 17.
Damn it, it doesn't have an ejection block on it.
What? You mean we didn't install one?
Now you probably didn't notice anything wrong, but here's the thing. Cecile also said this in season 1, episode 2.
Not to do anything reckless. The unit is not outfitted with an ejection seat.
This means she already knew they didn't install an ejection seat. She meant to say they hadn't installed one yet, which is what she said in the sub. This was just an honest mistake, not a big deal, but this next one wasn't. In season 2, episode 22, Colin told Lelouch this while they were in the Ashford clubhouse.
I know if it weren't for you, I'd have ended my life back in the Shinjuku ghetto.
This implies that Colin was suicidal, which isn't true. The Japanese dub further proves this.
あなたがいなければ私たちは新宿ゲットをしよう。
This makes more sense because Lelouch saved her life by forcing Clovis to call for a ceasefire. This mistake is inexcusable because the translations were not even close, implying something else that was completely inaccurate. But thankfully, the majority of the dub doesn't suffer from these problems and is still my favorite way to watch the series. Believe it or not, there are even more things you might have missed or other topics I could cover in this format, including kill counts, hidden moments missed, and so forth. If you want a part 3 or other lists to cover, though,
It's not my fault that women with big titties make my cock hard. It's society's fault. Society is responsible for making me degenerate. Society is responsible for turning me into a cunt. And I think the faster that we all come to understand that, the happier we as the people will be. Okay? Thank you for your input, but next time you want to point fingers, point the finger at me. Point the finger again, that's right. Put your fingers inside yourself, take a look past it, and then see if you still feel the same after the time. Because I don't know, I think you might change your mind. It's not my fault that women with big titties make my cock hard.
I can't smoke, all right? That in a nutshell is my problem.
France, be quiet for 2 seconds. Do you not understand?
That's just not the same.
France.
You wanna make me look
France.
dumb, but I'm
No,
just
you're doing that
telling
already.
you.
You're doing that already.
It's not gonna be
You're doing it right
not
now.
the
You're
same.
doing
That's
that
just not
already.
the same.
Look, a broke woman can still find a rich man if she's pretty.
I don't want that. I wanna be independent.
I'm talking about you! Yo, this girl's retarded, bro! Holy shit!
Yo, my head hurts.
Yo!
No.
France,
People
be
bad.
quiet for 2 seconds. Do you not
That's
understand?
just not the same.
France.
You wanna make me look dumb, but I'm
No,
just
you're doing that
telling
already.
you.
You're doing that.
Wait, what? Wait, you were gonna rate the ride a 1 star? Wait, you said this going around on TikTok? Were you gonna rate me a 1 star to get a free ride? No, that's not a TikTok hack. That's like, you're gonna, like, that affects my rating. I've had other people do that too, and you know, your love doesn't really make sense, because what if a bunch of people do it? And what if it blows up on TikTok? You know what? I'm recording this. I'm gonna post this on my TikTok. Yeah, I have a TikTok too, lady. You probably haven't seen me. I have both, and they're gonna blow this up. So that way, everybody knows not to do this anymore. Okay?
My grandpa, when he was in his 30s, he got shot in the head and survived. And the doctor said that my grandma had a terrible attack. Did that resonate with you? Your great-grandma shot your great-grandpa. And this was a long time ago. Back then, loading a gun, that was, she wanted to. Because she was, for 10 minutes, she was like, I'm gonna kill that motherfucker. Did he survive? Where did your grandma hit him? Which hole was he smoking the cigar out of? That's kind of badass, I gotta say. I'm gonna hold on until I get this cunt in jail. My grandpa, when he was in his 30s, he got shot in the head and survived. And the doctor said that my grandma had terrible aim. Did that...
And that mastiff tested me a couple times. Ooh, for alpha position in the house.
Oh no.
Plastic bag in the wind was rolling through the woods on my property. And he ran and he grabbed it. And I told him, King, come here, front. And he came up to me and I put my hand on the plastic bag. It's like, all right, here it is. This is test time. So I ripped the bag and it came out of his mouth, right? And he really got pissed off at me. I was testing it. So at that point, I'm like, well, I can't back down to it now. This is it. So I put my fist against his teeth that he was showing. And I was going, do it. See? And he's like this, with his teeth going, I'm going, do it. And finally he turned and backed off, and then I pet him and he was wagging his tail, and I was like, all right. And that mastiff tested me a couple times. Ooh, for alpha position.
Oh no.
Plastic bag in the wind was rolling through the woods on my property. And he ran and he grabbed it. And I told him, King, come here, front. And he came up to me and I put my hand on the plastic bag. And it's like, all right, here it is. This is test time. So I ripped the bag and it came out of his mouth, right?
There was a time when Kobe Bryant was so mad at his teammates that he made them take off their shoes during halftime and threw them in the trash. His teammates were wearing Kobe's signature shoes, and he told them that they were not allowed to wear shoes because they were too soft. After the game, the Lakers ended up getting blown out by the Portland Trailblazers, where Kobe completely lost it and said this to his teammates.
From now on out, every time down the court, I touch the ball. Y'all gonna learn what it's like to play with Kobe Bean fucking Bryant. And I'm sitting looking like, okay, I'm serious.
There was a time when Kobe Bryant was so mad at his teammates that he made them take off their shoes during halftime and threw them in the trash. His teammates were wearing Kobe's signature shoes, and he told them that they were not allowed to wear shoes because they were too soft. After the game, the Lakers ended up getting blown out by the Portland Trailblazers, where Kobe completely lost it and said this to his teammates.
From now on out, every time down the court I touch the ball. Y'all gonna learn what it's like to play with Kobe Bean fucking Bryant. And I'm sitting there looking like, I'm serious.
There was a time when Kobe Bryant was so mad at his team.
Top 10 most expensive cities in India.
Which one would you match?
Top 10 most expensive.
Which one would you match?
She's
I will knock you the fuck out. That's the dumbest stuff that you've ever said.
What did you say? I don't know.
That she's thinner. That's dumb. I'm the wrong fucking person.
I didn't think you were fat though.
That's besides the point. What a mad thing to say. Sorry. Anything that you said, that wild. You said because she's skinnier, you would fuck her. But you like black girls because you like their body.
Yeah.
But they are more curvier. So do you like curves or you don't? No offense,
You're saying she doesn't have curves?
I know Jordan has curves, but she also has a lot skinnier friend than me. She don't have no titties. She has a little booty. That's my friend. That's my friend.
That's why I say I have a body like a 12-year-old. I've been saying this. I understand. I don't think I'm curvy at all.
But going off what Jordan said with her body of a 12-year-old, if that's the kind of girl that you like, 12-year-olds.
Which one would you match?
Probably she's thinner.
She's what?
I will knock you the fuck out. That's the dumbest stuff that you've ever said.
What did he say? I don't know.
That she's thinner. That's dumb. I'm the wrong fucking person.
I didn't think you were fat though.
That's besides the point. What a mad thing to say. Sorry. Anything that you said, that wild. You said because she's skinnier, you would fuck her. But you like black girls because you like their body.
Yeah.
But they are more curvier. So do you like curves or you don't? No offense, Jordan, look. I know Jordan has curves, but she also has a lot skinnier friend than me. She don't have no titties. She has a little booty. That's my friend. That's my friend.
That's why I say I have a body like a 12-year-old. I've been saying this. I understand. I don't think I'm curvy at all.
But going off what Jordan said with her body of a 12-year-old, if that's the kind of girl that you like, 12-year-olds.
Which one would you match?
Probably she's thinner.
She's what?
I think it pushes us backwards if we're just expecting men to be the breadwinner all the time. Women can be the breadwinner. And also not every woman wants to be a stay-at-home mom if she is making bread. You know, like, and if the husband's like fine with it. There's so many stay-at-home dads nowadays too. And
yeah, but that's not how I don't think that's a very fulfilling to have a relationship. It's not the ideal scenario. Like, we're trying to pretend like the arrogance we have, the arrogance that we have in this generation to think that what's worked for humans for thousands of years, we somehow know better because we have an iPhone and we have Instagram. Oh, we're better than our grandparents and our great-grandparents and our great-great-great-grandparents who lived and strived through much harder living conditions than we could ever possibly imagine. And they did it successfully because the mother stayed at home and raised the kids, and the man went out and brought home the baby.
the divorce rate is 50%.
Now?
Yeah.
Yeah, and look what we're doing. We're doing exactly what you just described.
I think it pushes us backwards if we're just expecting men to be the breadwinner. I have a giant penis.
No, not me. I don't have a I'm a girl.
People say, I don't want weapons in space. There's nothing more useless than a space weapon relative to Earth's surface. We can already destroy a city with an intercontinental ballistic missile, and we can aim that. We can aim a missile to any place on Earth, and it'll get there in less than 45 minutes, and destroy the whole city with nuclear weapons. We can already do that. There is no advantage to putting nukes in space if that's your objective. Not only that, suppose there's a rogue satellite, and it's messing with you. It's beaming energy particles at you, and you want to take it out. How are you going to take it out? You're going to destroy it? Oh, now you break it into 1 million pieces, 1,000 pieces. Now each piece is moving 18,000 miles an hour, and put your own satellites in space. That's the modern equivalent to in the First World War when they said, oh, we have a good idea, because we can't shoot them in the trenches, let's gas them out. So they have the mustard gas. Oops, the wind changed directions. And all of a sudden, you become a victim of your own weapon. Such would happen in space. People say, I don't want weapons in space. There's nothing more useless than a space weapon relative to Earth. We can already destroy a city with an intercontinental ballistic missile. and we can aim that. We can aim a missile to any place on Earth, and we'll get there in less than 45 minutes and destroy the whole city with nuclear weapons. We can already do that. There is no advantage to putting nukes in space if that's your objective. Not only that, suppose there's a rogue satellite that is messing with you, beaming energy particles at you, and you want to take it out. How are you going to take it out? You're going to destroy it? Oh, now you break it into 1,000,000 pieces, 1,000 pieces. Now each piece is moving 18,000 miles an hour, and put your own satellites in it. That's the modern equivalent to in the First World War when they say, oh, we have a good idea, because we can't shoot them in the trenches, let's gas them out. So they have the mustard gas. Oops, the wind changed directions. And all of a sudden, you become a victim of your own weapon. Such would happen in space. People say, I don't want weapons in space. There's nothing more useless than a space weapon relative to Earth's weapons. We can already destroy a city with an intercontinental ballistic missile, and we can aim that. We can aim a missile to any place on Earth, and we'll get there in less than 45 minutes and destroy the whole city with nuclear weapons. We can already do that. There is no advantage to putting nukes in space if that's your objective. Not only that, suppose there's a rogue satellite that is messing with you, beaming energy particles at you, and you want to take it out. How are you going to take it out? You're going to destroy it? Oh, now you break it into 1,000,000 pieces, 1,000 pieces. Now each piece is moving 18,000 miles an hour, and put your own satellites at risk. That's the modern equivalent to in the First World War when they said, oh, we have a good idea, because we can't shoot them in the trenches, let's gas them out. So they have the mustard gas. Oops, the wind changed directions. And all of a sudden, you become a victim of your own weapon. Such would happen in space. People say, I don't want weapons in space. There's nothing more useless than a space weapon relative to Earth. We can already destroy a city with an intercontinental ballistic missile, and we can aim that. We can aim...
I used to say that there were 5 levels of fatness. Reason why I say used to say is because now there are 6. I met the new one in Las Cruces. The original 5 levels are big, healthy, husky, fluffy, and damn. People ask, what could be bigger than damn? The new level's called, oh hell no. What's the difference? You're still willing to work with level 5. Example, if you're on an elevator and you're with your friend and this really big guy gets on and you and your friend look at each other and you're like, damn. But you still let the big guy ride your elevator. That's the difference. Level 6, you see walking towards your elevator. Oh, hell no. No! That's the difference. I used to say that there were 5 levels of fatness.
How I accidentally got hundreds of my viewers banned from Twitch.
One of my viewers keeps getting banned because he types that he's 12. And if you're under the age of 13 on Twitch, you're banned.
What happens if I just set up like a giveaway and you make the keyword like I'm 12?
Alright, chat, if you type the word I'm 12, you can participate in the $100 RP giveaway.
There we go. Got some happy contestants in here.
Wait, do you think if you like, do a huge ban wave? People are banned?
Oh my god, I didn't think it was real. I doubted it.
Stop. We fucked up bad. We fucked up bad. We fucked up bad. I got banned after 2 minutes.
Oh, you got like flies. Wait, how many are there?
You have to send your ID to Twitch.
This is funny because they're not actually...
That giveaway wasn't a scam though. Someone just got his...
Let's go. You have to sacrifice like 300 people for that?
God. Girls saying, putting a marker on the wall, guys not this height, I won't date them. And then the guy's response to that is, here, let me put a scale on the floor, and then that's my bedroom, and if you weigh over X amount, then we can't date, or whatever.
I think the guy one was a little petty.
How is that petty though? How's that? It's literally like, it's him not saying like, no,
Like-
What about the first one?
I mean, if you're tall and that's your standards, like you don't want a shorter guy than you, then okay.
Okay, but what
But
about
is that not? How's that not?
But what about guys that don't want to date women who
Okay,
are...
I'm not saying anything about it.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
So they're
it's
both
it's
they're
fair.
both
Both
petty.
their standards, but like the second one was kind of petty.
But why is but is the first one petty?
Yeah, they're both petty,
Okay,
honestly.
okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Alright, so it's fair.
You've got girls saying, putting a marker on the wall, if a guy's not this height, I won't
datum, and then the guy's response to that is, here, let me put a scale on the floor near the entrance to my bedroom, and if you weigh over.
The poker world is convinced this guy was cheating at the WSOP by marking cards. The WSOP revealed they are investigating the play of Martin Cabral in the $250,000 Super High Roller event. During gameplay, he started to raise red flags by handling cards weird and staring at opponents' stacks for long periods of time. Like here, where his opponent is holding pocket aces, and here again where his opponent was also holding the same ace of spades, which was one of the cards he was playing in a suspicious manner. Weird. Dan Smith called out Cabral's behavior during and after the event.
If somebody was getting that close to my cards, I'll put my chips on top of them. But I don't know what the rule is. There were a lot of discussions about whether he was marking cards, whether or not that's true. Playing with him is unbelievably unpleasant.
The poker world is convinced this guy was cheating at the WSOP.
Part of the rituals of being a Muslim is you're cleaning your hands and your feet and your ears and your nose, and there's a cleansing daily. Back then, nobody's showering every day. If a disease comes through and it comes from contact, you get sick and the Muslims don't.
Oh, so they seem powerful.
Oh my gosh, and you're Christian and they're Muslim, you're saying they put a hex on me. These heathens. I gotta know it. Ready?
I don't know. I'm still riding the last.
Ready?
You got
okay.
a lot of
Here it goes. Many of the plagues were from a flea. Where did the fleas come from? We would later learn they came from rats and mice. And mice were common. Look at old Renaissance paintings with mice in the corners of the paintings. It's really funny just to see this. All right, so now watch. If you owned a cat, you didn't have mice. So wait a minute. Who owned cats? Well, the many women that owned cats.
So women didn't get the plague and they were therefore sorcerers.
They were witches. This is what happens when you live in a pre-scientific era. The blame game begins.
But that's fun as hell, some of it.
Part of the rituals of being a...
So this woman, let's call her Delulu. So Delulu is a singer, and the album she was on just got nominated for a Grammy. But one day, Delulu hears a voice, and she's on a flight, and the plane is still on the ground. But she hears a voice, and it's her God, who I assume looks like this. And her God tells her she needs to sing on the plane, but not like in her seat. He says she needs to get up and sing in the aisle where the whole plane can hear her. I guess he was very specific. So she gets up and goes to the aisle. And she's about to sing, and that's when she's spotted by this guy, flight attendant. And flight attendant's like, let me stop you right now. And he makes her go back to her seat. Oh, but Delulu isn't done.
I haven't done this in a while. I've gotten to the next status, so you're enjoying it. So while we're sitting here,
I'm not enjoying it. So I'm asking you to be quiet.
Now, Delulu's not going to give up so easily. And remember who told her to sing.
I'm asking you a question, yes or no. I'm your flight leader. I need you to follow my instructions. My instructions are to answer my question. I need you to be quiet.
What do you got?
I'm asking you.
So this woman, let's call her Delulu. So
the Lakers won the championship team, and the future as well. Yeah, we gotta get rid of AD. We gotta get rid of AD. Gotta get rid of AD because he AD. We don't want to criticize that because that's a health. So it's whatever it is. Okay. You know, we don't want to say he's soft. You know, he's AD. So because that's his makeup and that's who he is, and he's shown us that. And the only time I guess we haven't been shown that was in New Orleans, and we like to say the bubble championship, you know, like whatever. You show us them spurts, whatever, every other night. It used to be every night. And you look nice, your clothes, come on, but we don't. If the Lakers want to be a championship team, and the future as well, yes, you got to get rid of AD.
You got to get rid of AD.
You got to get rid of AD.
Because
the AD. You don't want to criticize that because that's a hell to it's whatever it is.
Okay.
You know, because you don't want to say he's soft. You don't want it's AD. So because that's his makeup and that's who he is, and he's shown us that. And the only time I guess we haven't been shown that was in New Orleans, and we like to say the bubble championship, you know, like whatever. You show us them spurts, whatever, every other night. It used to be every night. And you look nice, your clothes, come on, but we don't. If the Lakers want to be a championship team, and the future as well, yes, you got to get rid of AD.
You got to get rid of AD.
You got to get rid of AD.
Because
the AD. You don't want to criticize that because that's a hell to it's whatever it is. Okay. You know, because you don't want to say he's soft. You don't want it's AD. But because that's his makeup and that's who he is, and he's shown us. And the only time I guess we haven't been shown that was in New Orleans, and we like to say the bubble championship. You show us this first whatever every other night. It used to be every night. And you look nice, your clothes if the Lakers want to be a championship team, and the future as well, yes, you got to get rid of AD.
You got to get rid of AD.
You got to get rid of AD.
Because
the AD. You don't want to criticize that because that's a hell to it's whatever it is. You don't want to say he's soft. You don't want it's AD. So because that's his makeup and that's who he is, and he's shown us. And the only time I guess we haven't been shown that was in New Orleans, and we like to say the bubble championship. You show us this first whatever every other night. It used to be every night. You look nice, your clothes if the Lakers want to be a championship team, and the future as well, yes, you got to get rid of AD.
You got to get rid of AD.
You got to get rid of AD.
Oh, come on. You think me getting naked, so if I just took off my clothes and said, take some pictures with me, that would be as easy as building that building?
No, it's different, obviously, but I do think that both of them have difficulties.
No, but equal.
No such thing as equal.
Which one's hard?
I would pick one.
Taking off clothes? Oh, come on.
You don't. If you just take out your clothes, you're not going to make the money that a guy is going to do.
Women make $1 million a month on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And you think that's more important than the men who are building these roads,
No,
these
I'm not
structures?
saying that.
So what are you saying?
I'm not saying it's more important. I say that it has the same value.
How does it have the same value if it's not as important?
Oh, come on. You think me getting naked, so if I just took off my clothes and said, take some pictures with me, that would be as easy as building that building?
No, it's different, obviously, but I do think that both.
No, man, I don't eat pork. Are you Jewish? No, I ain't Jewish. I just don't dig on swine, that's all. Pigs are filthy animals. I don't eat filthy animals.
Yeah, but bacon tastes good. Pork chops taste good.
Hey, sewer rat may taste like pumpkin pie, but I never know because I wouldn't eat the filthy motherfucker. Pigs sleep and root and shit. That's a filthy animal. I ain't eating nothing, ain't got sense enough to disregard its own feces.
How about a dog? Dog eats his own feces.
I don't eat dog either.
Yeah, but do you consider a dog to be a filthy animal?
I wouldn't go so far as to call a dog filthy, but they're definitely dirty. But dogs got personality. Personality goes the wrong way.
So by that rationale, if a pig had a better personality, he would cease to be a filthy animal. Is that true?
Well, we have to be talking about one charming motherfucking pig. I mean, he had to be 10 times more charming than that Arnold on Green Acres, you know what I'm saying?
What's the bacon?
No, man, I don't eat pork.
Are you Jewish?
No, I ain't Jewish. I just don't dig on swine, that's all.
Why not?
Pigs are filthy animals. I don't eat filthy animals.
Yeah, but bacon tastes good. Pork chops taste good.
Hey, sewer rat may taste like pumpkin pie, but I'd never know because I wouldn't eat the filthy motherfucker. Pigs sleep and root and shit. That's a filthy animal. I ain't eating nothing, ain't got sense enough to disregard its own feces.
How about a dog? Dog eats his own feces.
I don't eat dog either.
Yeah, but do you consider a dog to be a filthy animal?
I wouldn't go so far as to call a dog filthy, but they're definitely dirty. But dogs got personality. Personality goes the wrong way.
So by that rationale, if a pig had a better personality, he would cease to be a filthy animal. Is that true?
Well, we have to be talking about one charming motherfucking pig. I mean, he had to be 10 times more charming than that Arnold on Green Acres, you know what I'm saying?
What's some bacon?
Is that what you ordered?
I thought I ordered the wings.
No, you did order the wings.
It's okay.
Excuse me.
No, it's fine.
It's not fine. You got his order wrong.
You wanted the chicken sandwich. Oh, you're right. I think I did.
Tell him the truth.
It's okay. I like the sandwich.
I'm sorry, let me get my glasses. That's too small. I can see what it is. Nope, still too small. Hold on. Now I can see it. Why are you so tiny? I'm sorry, let me get my glasses. That's too small. I can see what it is.